And I've come across a really nice technique over at timholtz.com that I wanted to share with you. It's taking your leftovers or your offcuts of small pieces of printed paper and turning it into a tiny tiled mosaic. This is all paper, there's no cement used in this at all, but I'll talk you through how we do it. Now, I've used Craftwork Cards Fab Fabrics because it's got lots of tiny florals inside, but any papers with your nice tiny prints will be the best for this, because as you can see, you're going to cut them up into super tiny cute random squarish rectangles. You're going to need some chipboard, and again, go to your pads and steal it from the back, that's not a problem. You're going to need some double-sided sticky sheet, but it has to be heat stable or heat resistant, because we're going to melt embossing powder onto it, and your heat tool will shrivel up any other sticky sided product that you may use. But if you check out the description of this video, there'll be a link to my blog, and I'll put down a list of the products that I'm trying to get you guys to go and have a look at to use. So the first thing you need to do is take a piece of chipboard down to the size that you want to work with, and cut off a piece of sticky sheet that will fit it. Take off one side of the backing sheet and place it on top of your chipboard. You then want to run that either through a die cutting machine and cut out the shape you want. I think this is a heart from Tonic that I had, but if you don't use a die cutting machine, it doesn't matter, just cut out whatever shape you want with a pair of scissors. Once it's cut, then you take off the second backing paper of your double-sided sticky sheet. You just then need to stick down your little squares however you want. You can either be organised or disorganised, or just make it look natural, and however they go, really. There's no wrong way to do it, I don't think. Then your next step is you take your distressing powder or your embossing powder. This one is Pumice Stone by Tim Holtz, and this is the one that gives the cement grout look. You want to pour it all over the top and literally just rub it in between all of your papers. There's another one that I've done with a different look, and this one was done with Cosmic Shimmer's ultra thick embossing powder in vintage bronze, and that's given it a really metallic embedded look, which worked quite nice. So if you've ever incorrectly bought embossing powder thinking that you could use it for stamping, but it turns out it was an ultra thick one, this is a great way to use those up. So like I say, use your fingers and rub it, make sure it's got onto all of the sticky stuff in between your squares. Get your heat gun and give it a blast to melt the powder. This is where you'll find out if your sticky sheet isn't heat stable, because it will just all curl up and start to destroy what you've just done. Once you've melted your embossing powder, take your glossy accents, which looks like that, it's by Ranger, and you just straight from the bottle on top of each of your squares. That's the bit that gives it the nice ceramic glazed look. So there you go. I'd love to see other people making these, so if you do, please send a link, because I'd love to see if anyone gets up to anything using this technique. And thanks for watching.